Hey guys, working on this 2011 Ford F-150. Gonna be pulling out the old outdated factory stereo system and replacing it with the Awesafe Android 12 car stereo. So let's take a quick look at the stereo here. So like I said, this is from a company called Awesafe, and this is going to support GPS navigation, steering wheel controls, adjustable display, touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, split screen, and it does support rear camera as well. It does not include a rear camera, but you have the option of adding one on if you want to. So this is what the unit actually looks like, and you can see this is going to replace the whole radio bezel and all that. And this is going to be for 2009 through 2012 Ford F-150s. Does include all the wiring harnesses and everything, so it should be just plug and play. A little more hardware here, and then you also get the user manual as well. And I'll go ahead and put a link in the description for this stereo here. Right now this is going on Amazon for right around $179, I believe. So check out my description, I'll put a link in there for this. So first thing we're going to need to do is get out this old factory unit here. As you can see, there's quite a few things we're going to have to transfer over to the new unit there. But first thing you want to do is go ahead and come up here to this rubber piece. Just take a screwdriver and pry underneath that rubber piece, because we need to have access to these two 7mm bolts. Using that same screwdriver, we need to pry out this Microsoft Sync plug in here. So just get on the side of it there, and that should just pop out of there, just like that. And then behind that Microsoft Sync plug there's going to be a 7mm there, so go ahead and remove that now. Either a socket wrench or nut driver. And then you can come up top here with your 7mm, go ahead and remove these two up here. So what we need to do next is go ahead and pry on your vents here. So you got this little gap here. You can take a trim tool, same with on this side, and kind of pry outward so we can release the stereo system here. So I'm just taking like a trim tool here. Like I said, get back in here and just kind of pry outward. So you can see it kind of releasing there. So just something kind of like that. And then kind of the same thing on this side here. Just get back there. Pry that out. Like I said, just enough to get this stereo out of here. It's about like that. So next you can go ahead and unplug this Microsoft Sync thing here. So if you just press in on the tab here with your thumb, that unplugs from that one. This one, you got a little red locking tab. You need to kind of pull that outward and then push right there. And this should unplug here, just like that. And now you should be able to just kind of pull outward on this. And you see that kind of releases from there. I can move my camera here, we'll get behind and start unplugging some of this stuff. So as you can see back behind here, you're gonna have all these plugins you need to undo. So just go ahead and start unplugging all these. You should have little tabs you'll press on. So you can see like this one here, you just press in right there. Same with this one here. Gives you a little more room in here with those two undone. And you got these little tabs right here on this brown and gray one. Unplug those. And this one, the cigarette lighter was already unplugged for some reason, so I'm gonna have to look into that. And then you can just feed these Microsoft Sync ones through here. And there's the factory stereo system out. So next you're gonna wanna go ahead and remove the head unit itself. You're gonna have two 7mm bolts on each side. Go ahead and remove all four of those. Then you should be able to just go ahead and pull outward on this. Flip this downward. And adjust my camera here. And go ahead and start unplugging some of these plugs here to the factory radio. Same thing, you got the tabs there. This is going to be your antenna wire here. This will just pull straight out. And one more clip there. So now the factory stereo system's out. So now we need to go ahead and start transferring some of this stuff. So you got your hazards and your traction control light, that kind of stuff. So go ahead and remove that one. To get that out, looks like we need to just squeeze on each side here to release this. So go ahead and squeeze that, and then just kind of pry on the front there. Might be kind of stuck in there. There we go. So squeeze on those two tabs there. So these two here you'll want to squeeze together. And then take a Torx T15, and we're going to take off this whole unit right here. So you got 4 screws holding that in. So go ahead and pull all 4 of those screws off. Once you get those 4 screws undone, you can pull outward on this. And then you want to go ahead and pull off your 12-volt cigarette lighter here, and this is going to just kind of push out, I believe. So yeah, that just kind of pushes out. And I'm not going to stick this one in the new one here. So I went ahead and got these off of Amazon. I'll put a link in the description for it. But you can see there's going to be USB-C, 2 of the plugs in there, and then a USB-A as well. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in the new one. That's going to be a lot better than that 12-volt cigarette lighter adapter. So we also need to go ahead and pull off these little clips here. You're going to have a total of 6 of them. You can see I already got this one off, but they kind of dig into the plastic, so they're kind of hard to pry off of here. But if you get a screwdriver, or if you use a pick, you can kind of get up underneath it here and then just kind of pry outward. You may need to do it from this side as well. So if you can pry them out a little bit and then get a pick back behind here, you can see they kind of pop off there like that. Let's see if I can just get a pick on this one. So get back behind there and just kind of pry here. Like I said, they're not the easiest to get off. There we go. Do the other side here. So once you get all those clips undone, let's go ahead and transfer those over to the new one here. So you just push those on there. Just kind of in place like that. Go ahead and do that to all 6 of those. Once you get all those done, go ahead and transfer over your traction control and hazard. That's going to go right into here now. So you can just go ahead and stick that through, and it should just click in, kind of how we undid it. So just like that. Next, go ahead and grab your HVAC controls, and we'll put that through here. So you can kind of flip this over. Go ahead and set this down in there. Get that lined up. Grab your screws. And then just be careful of your screen. So if you guys set this down, make sure it's not going to get scratched there. Go ahead and get all your screws into place here, and we'll tighten those down. And let me just get a rag so I can set this down without scratching it. That'll make it a little bit easier here getting these screws in. So get those nice and tight. Don't go too tight though, because it's just plastic. You'll crack that plastic. So there's what that looks like. See, nice clean look here. That'll all clean up there. Next, you'll want to go ahead and put in your cigarette lighter there, but like I said, I'm using this style here, so I will have to just wire the plug a little different, but this just unscrews here. This will be a lot better, like I said, than that cigarette lighter. So this will just kind of push through. Try to get it lined up correctly here. And this will just tighten on that. Just kind of goes up against there. Tightens down on that. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and pull off this storage tray up here. So I think I'm going to run the GPS antenna, stick it up here, and then maybe run the wire down underneath this. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab a pick here, remove this rubber piece here. And then you got two 7mm bolts. So go ahead and remove those. Then go ahead and lift that tray out of there. You got to kind of pull towards the front of the vehicle with it. So you can see it kind of has that little groove there. Pull that out. So now with that tray out of the way, go ahead and take your GPS antenna. What I'm going to do is probably end up just sticking that right in this area here, but it'll be opposite because there is some 3M tape on the bottom of that. And instead of going through here, because it's probably going to pinch the wire once I get the tray back in here, you can lift up on the dash a little bit and then go right through the defrost vent back through here. So take your other end of your GPS antenna here. See if you can just kind of shove that through so you can see it down below here. So like that, and then go ahead and kind of pull that through. And then we can stick that later, clean that up and get it all sticky later. And then take this end and we're going to feed this through down in through here. So just like that. And that should work just fine. And then we can, that way we can get our tray back in without pinching any wires. So that kind of goes on there like that. Grab your two screws here. Get your rubber pad back into place there. Just like that, we'll go ahead and clean this up and get that stuck on there. Okay, so now we can go ahead and start plugging in some of the wiring harnesses. I did go ahead and cut off the cigarette lighter plug, which was this brown looking plug here. And then this came with that little adapter that I bought for the USB-C. That's going to replace the cigarette lighter. So that's pretty simple. You can just cut that off, and then this reddish brown wire is going to be your positive, and then the black wire is going to be your negative. And then it has these little ends on the end here that'll plug into that. So that's that. And then just go ahead and start plugging some of this stuff in. So you got your antenna adapter here that's going to plug in to your old antenna wire. Now you do have on this truck, it did have this little yellow plug that plugged into the factory stereo. This is for the Sirius satellite. That new one we have will not have Sirius satellite, so this one you can leave unplugged. Take your factory or your new harness here, grab your old factory wiring harness, and this will just be direct plug and play. So go ahead and plug that one in. This other one here, it's going to plug into this other gray one here, like that. And then the rest of these are going to plug into the new stereo here. So now what we can do is start plugging in some of this stuff to the back of the new stereo here. So this one all the way to the end here, that's going to be for your backup camera. So that'll plug into here. Now this truck already does have a backup camera. It's in the rear view mirror, so we're not going to add another backup camera. We're just going to keep the one in the rear view mirror. But if you guys wanted to, this is where you'd take power to the new backup camera, and then you got your RCA cable here, which will plug into that. So that's going to be the very far end one there. This next one is going to be for the USB adapter here. So that's going to be the 6-pin USB. So I'll go ahead and plug this one into there. So that's going to plug into that one. Now, probably not going to use this one or the next one, which is a 4-pin USB, because hopefully we're going to see, I think this does support wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. So really we don't need these. You can route this if you want to use wired Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. So get those ones pushed in. And then that next one's going to be on the factory wiring harness there, coming off of the canvas. So we'll plug that in once we get this kind of situated. This next one here is going to be all your RCA plugins here for auxiliary things such as a subwoofer, that kind of thing. Different audio systems. There is one for another external mic here. Now it looks like this does have a mic already right there. So if you want to add the external mic, which they do include, so I'll probably run that as well. But this is going to plug into that one right there. So I am going to run this external mic as well. And this is the one that's included in the kit here. And I'm just going to kind of run this up down through here under the dash. And then we can always set this up later. Just want to get the plug in here. Pull that kind of through. And then we can go ahead and run this afterwards here, just so we can plug it into the unit here. Alright guys, so I just tried to test fit this in here, and it's actually hitting on this piece right here. So it looks like I'm going to have to remove this piece here. I thought I could leave that in, but you're going to have 4 7mm screws. So you got those 2 right there. You're going to have another one right here, and then you're going to have the same thing. So if you pull this back, if you get in there enough, there's going to be another one back in behind there. So let's go ahead and pull those out. Alright guys, so this one here was kind of a pain to get back into. In order to remove this piece, you're going to have to pull out the airbag from the glove box, and there's a bolt right back in behind here. But I was able to squeeze in there with a 1/4 inch ratchet with a shallow 7mm. I was able to pull this back just enough to get in there and undo that screw there. So now we have all 4 screws undone here. So now we'll see if we can just pull this out of here. And it sounds like I just busted a little tab here, but that's all right. There we go. So yeah, I just busted that little tab, but we won't need this anymore. So now I think we should be able to clear that. So now what we can do is kind of plug in some of this stuff here. So your main power, of course that's going to plug in right here. So you plug that one in. Your GPS here, so you got this red plug over this. If you can pull that off. And then get your GPS cable here. And that's going to go ahead and screw onto that there. So get that kind of screwed on. It's kind of tight getting your fingers in here. Then again, we're not doing a backup camera since we already got one. These USB cables, we're just gonna kind of let them hang here in case we want to come back to hook those up on here. Only one we're using out of this. We don't have any subs or anything or any auxiliary audio, but we will use this mic one here that we did run the external mic, so you can plug this in to that there. And the rest of these aren't going to stretch for your HVAC, so we'll have to get it closer. And then same with the cigarette lighter. Now there is this cord here. You will not be using that. Went to the old radio controls there, so you can just kind of tuck that one back in there. We're not going to use that one. And then the other one here, like I said, we're not going to use this because this was for the Sirius satellite radio, and there's no hookup for that on this one here, so we won't be using that. But we will be doing your antenna, so you can plug that one into here. Just like that. So now let's get this kind of put in here. We'll situate the camera here. So then next what you can do is plug in your HVAC controls here. I'll get this a lot closer. Same with your traction control and hazard plug right here. And then you got your cigarette lighter one. I can reach with those already, so I'll get those plugged in. Make sure you got the positive and negative correctly. If you did what I did with these outlets here. And then the rest will kind of just tuck in here. Now I did go ahead and these USB ones, I went ahead and just kind of stuck these down in here, and I might have those come out the bottom of the dash here, so I'll probably do that. So let me go ahead and get these plugged in, and this one here, and then I'll come back. All right guys, so I went ahead and just got it all put back into place here, because I just had to pull those wiring harnesses so close to this. I just went ahead and got it all put back into place. It is kind of a pain. You just got to kind of pull at this panel here, kind of tuck it in underneath this gray piece, this panel here first, and then do that side, because that side comes out a little more. But if you just kind of tuck that back in underneath this piece here, and then it just kind of pushes into place, and then this one will snap in as well. So now we can go ahead and get this the screw held in here. Now that's the only screw holding this whole thing in, besides those 6 clips that we did. So you don't need to add any more screws or anything. It'll just kind of pop straight in, and then we'll have this little 7mm under here kind of holding everything in. So then just go ahead and screw in that 7mm here. And then if you take a look, here's that, what replaced the cigarette lighter there. So you can actually power this on and off too. There's this button here, but that'll work a lot better than the cigarette lighter. Got a lot more outlets to charge your phone or whatever it may be. So go ahead and screw that in here. Once you get that tightened, you can go ahead and grab your sync controls here, even though this ain't gonna do much anymore, but you can plug this back in. And then also your other one here for your aux cable, if you were using that. Push that red pin in, and then you should be able to just push this back in. Just like that. All right guys, so I went ahead and played around with this for a little bit already, and then I took the that extra microphone and I ran it down along all the way up the pillar here, and then up into right there. So there's the microphone right there. So if you guys want to do that, you can. So now I'm going to go ahead and just fire this up real quick. Now when you first fire it up, it'll bring up the Android screen. Like I said, we've already messing around with this. So it fires up really fast. As you can see, it's already on. So this is the home screen here, And you can click on there's a whole bunch of things you can do on here. Get back out of here. So you got all your different apps here. You can even watch YouTube. We were watching YouTube earlier. You can actually go to the Google Play Store as well and download different apps. So if you even wanted to watch TikTok on here, you can watch TikTok. So, and you can just see the quality of the screen and how fast it is. You can see just to your touch there. But you got a whole bunch of stuff you can choose from on here. Even if you wanted to browse the internet, you can browse the internet through Google Chrome and all that. The Z-Link is going to be your Apple CarPlay, which we'll turn on in a second here. But you got a whole bunch of different things. Oh, he just connected his CarPlay now. So you can see how fast that connects to the CarPlay here. So you got your CarPlay apps and everything. And it is wireless, so it connects wirelessly every time you get in the car and all that, and just works awesome here. You got Spotify, all that on there, your Apple Maps and that. I'm not going to get into a bunch of that, just kind of giving you the gist of this. So if you go to back to home here, you can see there's a bunch of other things. Your radio, car settings. I was trying to show you guys different themes. So you can choose from all these different themes on here as well for your home screen. So whole bunch of different things. Like I said, we're still kind of learning some of this. This is my daughter's boyfriend's truck, so I'm going to let him play around with a bunch of this stuff here. But yeah, I think this is definitely worth it. And you got your GPS maps from your GPS on there as well. It also tells you your speed, that kind of stuff too. So I'm not going to play the radio or any of that or any songs to show you guys the sound quality because I'll get copyrighted. But I do highly recommend this Awesafe Android car stereo. Like I said, this is for the 2009 through 2012 F-150s. So I hope this video kind of helps you out if you're in the market for a aftermarket stereo. You can see it's pretty simple to install. Gets rid of all those clunky buttons and everything, and just kind of simplifies everything. And I think it's going to work out perfect. So hopefully this video helps you out. If it does, why don't you hit that subscribe button, check out some of my other videos, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.